a Stirling Boar today. It's been soaking for about an hour in distilled water. Since it's such a long soak, I didn't want deposits from my normal water to just be on the brush for that long. Continuing with my Nacet, 135 uses on it. So today is 136. The Sheraton, of course, is the razor that I have. It's a vintage Gillette from 1938, and its geometry just lets me keep going with this blade. It's pretty unique. The soap we're going to use is a sample that's just been around for, I don't know, a year, maybe even a year and a half. And I said, let's just do this thing. So Cooper and French, fresh start, kind of zesty. Got to be some citrus in there. And how we do samples like this is I take my 1/4 teaspoon. I used to do all soaps like this, but now I've kind of more enjoyed loading up the lather bowl with, loading up the brush from the tub. So with this little container, I've scooped out pretty much a 1/4 teaspoon. And then I'll pull that out, and this gives me a great opportunity to kind of feel what kind of consistency. Like, it was pretty easy to pull that out and not really leave too much residue in there. So it's a somewhat firm, soft soap, and it's holding together. You know, it's got kind of a smooth surface on it, so it came out pretty easy. So that means it should press into this bowl pretty well without like powderizing or anything like that. And then just press it down. This bowl has some ridges to help with lather generation, and sometimes when I do press into the bottom, if I'm not careful, I need to work my brush around in many directions so that I can pick up all the soap around the sides of the ridges. Oh, some woodiness in there too. All right. I believe the Cooper and French has given me a couple of soaps that I've tried that were way too underscented, just really light. Let me a little water on my face. So I hope that isn't the case with this guy. And we're going to go ahead and put the blade in the Sheraton. And notice Sheraton is an open comb. And it's a nice shaver. Just because it's an open comb doesn't mean it's aggressive. Take this Nacet out very gingerly. And then here's the business side that I put in the razor first, the bottom part. There's the X that's gradually fading, and the very clean top part. And then we're ready to go with mixing up the lather. As usual, I'm going to shake a lot of the water out. Just kind of a lightly wet brush. So I've kind of evened up all of my Boar brushes. I had a Simogue 2000 that was, I had to catch up. And it's pretty much evened up with everything now. Everything's at either 10 or 11 uses. Now this guy kind of bubbled right up right away. If a soap gets really airy like that, don't use that yet. You're not done. You need to keep working it. And if you just keep going, it'll calm down. But all of my brushes are at 10 or 11 uses. The Simogues and the Zenith are in great shape. really comfortable for several uses now. This one is slower. Nothing wrong with that. It just is. Who knows? Once it gets softer and splays out more, it might have the right amount of backbone that I'm looking for, because, you know, boars take a while to mature. Now, like I said, this is starting to solidify, meaning that light, airy bubbleness is being condensed and giving way to something a lot more resembling a shaving lather. So let's start to add some more water to this. And this is distilled, and it's I don't worry about hot lather. I shave with room temperature lather. It's fine. I smell that woodiness. Kind of the citrus is kind of backing down from what I'm smelling right now. Now this is an old sample. Maybe this is a soap that has kind of an expiration associated with it or something like that. I know it was a little discolored. It's definitely darker down at the bottom of the tin. Don't know what that means. I've gotten good performance from Cooper and French. The ones I've tried. I think I've tried 2. Happy with the performance. Add another ½ teaspoon, so now we've got 1½ in it. Nice thing I like about this boar brush, I think it's comfortable. It's not prickly at all, but it's a nice dense knot, and so that presents a nice wall of tips for you. And when you get that, the pressure is divided on your face, and so it doesn't feel as pokey or massagey. It kind of feels more like a brush or a uniform, where the pressure is just divided up evenly, and so it feels just like you're using a nice brush. So we've got lots of lather generated here. I mean, just gobs. And this is pretty dry. See how it's holding its shape really, really well. If I wiggle it, it'll start to come down. I think it still needs, let's do a little, got a little bit of cushion. Yeah, nice and slippery. I like that. I can barely tell that I've got fingerprint ridges. So that's in a good spot. Let's add a little bit more water to it. So that's 2 teaspoons. And I may still have some soap in the bottom of this bowl. I've been trying to scrub at it really hard. It's kind of nice to have a strong backbone brush when you want to try to get all the soap up off the bottom, and so that kind of works out. Very weakly scented even with my nose in the bowl, so I'm afraid it's probably not going to be any better when it's on my face. Looks good though. Just look at this amount of lather. This is crazy. All right, that is very many lathers right there. Nice and slippery. That's good. So obviously, going with a whole quarter teaspoon is unnecessary with this base from Cooper and French. And so it's a very economical base. That's pretty cool. You get a lot of lather for a small quantity. Let's add a little bit more water here. I'm going to refill all the way to 2 teaspoons, but I probably won't use that much. Just got a half teaspoon. And this is when I'm really glad I don't have one of those low-sided Captain's Choice bowls or the fine accoutrements lather bowl. That Timeless bowl has higher sides, but it's kind of narrow, and so I know I'd be all messy with the in the lather inside that, kind of deep. Just always keep my hands really messy. So I don't think I'd like that one either. All right, let's go with this. I mean, it's got a nice gloss to it. It's huge. And I've still got some in the bowl. This is just a nice economical lather where you just don't have to spend as much product to get a great lather. Wow. Okay, so let's throw a little bit more, put a little pre-shave on, because after all, got a little messy making it up. This will help to dispel some of the oils on my skin, make that first pass a little more nice feeling. All right, try this guy out. Yeah, this brush is somewhat comfortable. Like I said, not pokey, definitely scrubby. You're definitely gonna get yourself cleaned up, dirt scrubbed away. I believe if you were using a razor that was maybe a little more aggressive than you might like and might give you some razor burn in certain areas, you may not necessarily want to have this brush at this stage. Reserve it for comfortable shaves until, unless you just like a lot of scrub, but it might irritate some razor burn, especially once you get into the latter passes. All right. Lather feels great. I can detect it just barely, but it's almost unscented. Maybe it's just an old sample. But here's the thing, I dug down a couple of layers, and so even if the top layers had kind of lost their scent, I feel like I should have been down deep enough to grab some scent. But it is what it is. All right. See how it performs. Kind of buffing. Yesterday I did this neat experiment where I did not do any blade buffing at all. And the passes, as you might guess, went really fast. I was able to get 4 passes in, probably as much time as it took me to get 3 with the buffing. And so today I'm just going to do a modified version of that with just a little bit of buffing, not a lot. when I do a good bit of buffing, I end up with a second and third pass where I'm not really cutting too much hair. Kind of a half rinse, not really trying to get everything. Get the excess out of my goatee there. Whoops. All right, I got still got tons of lather. Of course, fill up my brush. These tips are taking a while to split, and that's okay. I might employ some other kind of break-in method if I maybe get to 60 uses and I haven't seen too much change. I think I'm getting more of a scent. It's just really light. I think kind of a citrus, maybe a citrus and a wood. It's pleasant. Just super light. Cross grain now. Just like I said, a little bit of blade buffing. Gotta still keep it light. I'm getting pretty good slickness through and glide with the razor, and so that tells me that this lather's not too dry. Sometimes if you mix a lather too dry, it doesn't really bond with the skin, and you find you're pushing the lather across instead of having the lather affixed to your skin so that it protects as your razor blade moves over it. Oh, there we go. We're good. I'll pause you. All right, third pass. Half rinse is done. Left a little bit of water on the face since I think this lather still needs a little bit of water. So I guess maybe Cooper and French just kind of have a philosophy of minimal scent strength. Maybe they're trying not to offend or cause allergic reactions or irritation or something like that, which is fine. There are definitely other soap companies out there with stronger scents. Third pass. Trouble area right here. Blade buffing for sure. I feel pretty protected. Nice slick lather. Don't feel like I'm going to stir up any razor burn right there. Comfortable shave. Once you get used to the not newness, you know, that first shave where you don't feel that it's like a hot knife through butter. Once you get past that, you can go quite a ways, unless you don't have an aggressive razor, or you know, some magical one like this. This is not all that aggressive, but I found that once I got to 60, 80 uses, I needed to definitely maybe 50, it was time to move away from the more comfortable, smoother razors, the more mild razors. Had to leave them behind. Then once I got to maybe 110, I realized that even my more aggressive razors weren't as comfortable as this Sheraton. Just the way the geometry works out. All right, we're done and good. I bet we got a nice close shave. So let me rinse and I'll check it out. A little bit of length on a few tips there, and I've got so much lather. Why don't we just do a little touch up. Some people say try to angle the brush so that you lift the hairs up, but I'm pretty sure my hairs don't really care about that, and that's not, if it was lifting them up, they would just snap right back down. Wipe away the part where I should not shave because I don't really have any beard growing there. I am going to do a little bit of stretching, but it's minimal. You can overstretch, cause irritation and things like that. And then just a very light touch. Down here was really the problem, and what this is really is a cross grain pattern with a very light aspect of against the grain to it. And there we go. Why not do a little touch up right on the Adam's apple? All right. Yeah, that touch up pass did really well. I think I was more thoughtful about my angle, and maybe I did an improved version of it than I did when I was doing my third pass. So it fixed me right up. Happy with that. Tons of lather left over. I could do a whole nother shave, probably a 4-pass shave with what I have here. Holy cow. This is just an efficient soap. A little goes a long way, and it's not an expensive soap either. So I think that represents a pretty great buy if you are someone who likes the lighter scented soaps. How about that? And I continue to love this handle on this brush. It is a shorter handle, and I've got big hands, and I almost always prefer handles that are longer than this. But this design, very simple hourglass type design, just lets me hold it in just the right ways, and I'm super happy with it. And I bought one that was imperfect. I think the stenciling or something was a little at fault with this one, so I think I just got it for $7. And what a great little brush. I am certain I'm going to enjoy this brush after I've put several months worth of uses on it. I bet I'm going to just really enjoy this brush and have it be one of my favorites. Hey, at the very least, if the knot doesn't work out, I can put a new knot in it and enjoy the handle. So that's a great little piece. And just look at this lather that we've got. It's just perfect. It is elastic, creamy. It's got the sheen to it. Slick. This is a great performing lather. It's got everything you need. Goes a long way. And this is stable. This is how it is after 20 minutes. So it's not dissipating at all. Really nice. How much water did I use this time? 2.5 teaspoons. So that's the count there. And I'm gonna guess I could probably go with 1/8 of a teaspoon of this soap to get 3 passes, maybe 3 passes and a touch up. So that is nice. I just wish they would scent it a little bit stronger. I tried their sandalwood and amber, and it was pretty faint. They got a neat one called Fair Isle Harbor that I think Michael Friedberg did a review on. He liked it. All right, I'm gonna keep cleaning up, figure out what I've got good comfort on my face. My buffing was not too much. I don't even think I have any redness, so it's a nice, comfortable, smooth shave. I got very good results. I don't go against the grain. It does cause me irritation. And so considering that, I'm really happy with the way things went. We'll throw a little balm on there just for funsies. So since this soap had a little citrus in it and some woods, I'm going to go with some Dr. Jons Blood Oath post shave. Now, one nice thing about Dr. Jons is it is, I think it does have alcohol. Get my bifocals out. Yeah, but it's also got rich witch hazel and glycerin, aloe, alum, and this does have menthol. And so I can't remember if it's too much for me or not. I don't like a lot of menthol, but I do like the scent on this one. Alcohol gives me a little bit of sting, but it does have some goodies for your skin, like the aloe, witch hazel. So that's good. All right, I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to think about the menthol as it kind of burns away. Sometimes it just takes about 10 minutes before the menthol's gone. My eyes water a little bit sometimes, or they feel weird. Oh yeah, that's a good scent. That's nice. I like that. All right, so I'm going to keep cleaning up. So here's what this guy looks like after stropping on the towel. He's splays out a little bit more. I do not have a problem at all with his splay. I think it's great. He holds enough soap. Happy with that. But I definitely look forward to the other attribute of breaking in a boar, where the tips split and then you'll get more softness, that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Got a little bristle, and for maybe its 12th use or so, that is not a problem if it loses a bristle every now and then. Maybe if it starts to lose too many bristles past 60 uses, that's when I start to maybe get concerned. So happy with the way this guy is going. Covered the water. I did have just a tiny bit of soap left in the bowl, so good thing is most of the soap did get activated and get up into the lather. So Cooper & French is not one of these companies that's staying on the bleeding edge of the lather industry in the sense that some of them are, like Barrister & Mann and Holy Cow. Declaration Grooming. Noble Otter has a new base out last year that's really doing well. Summer Break soaps just came out with their new base. I think they're calling it Honor Roll, maybe. Bell Ringer and maybe Field Day, I think, were the two soaps that came out with that new base. And hearing really good reports about how it's really taken that particular maker up to very close to the top tier, if not in the top tier. And he's a great guy, and so I wish him all the best. Hopefully one of those, I'll get a sample or something like that. I'll buy one of his samples and try that base out. Or I love his History 101. And so if he releases that one in his new base, that's one where I'd probably buy a sight unseen tub of that one because I love that scent. But all these guys have, in many cases, they are improving their soap by improving the post-shave characteristics, and I'm not as big of a fan of that. But because I've got balms that work fine, and so I'd rather have it be a soap, especially one like this one, where you can use so little product and get tons of lather. So I respect that a lot about this soap maker. It was a wonderful, creamy, enjoyable, slick lather. I was really happy to have it. So I mean, how much better does it need to get? And especially when I believe you could pretty much use half of this when you would need to, when compared to those other bases. And so if it costs $17 to buy 4 ounces of this, and $17 or $20 to buy 4 ounces of a better soap, then you're actually looking at half the price because you're only using half as much per shave. So that's a good soap. If I was stuck with this soap on a desert island or something, I would enjoy it. There's a little bit of scent that you can look for and enjoy and have it be part of the shave. But other than that, you can still enjoy the wonderful performance of the lather and the feel of it. Luxurious, definitely. And it can hold its water if you want to thin it out a little bit more, maybe if you're a straight shaver. Or if you want it more dry and thick, you could do that too, and it'll definitely hold up for that. But what the economy of their soap makes me want to do is document and look at all the different scents of theirs that I might be interested in and get a sample. Because if I find one that has the strength that I like, then that's an excellent investment, excellent price per shave. Also, I am happy because of this Blood Oath. I think Dr. Jons has one of his other scents that has the menthol in a higher concentration. And I'm so happy. I love the scent of this Blood Oath. And it's a blood orange type scent. And I'm so happy that the menthol is not bothersome to me. It didn't give me any kind of burning sensation. I just got a little bit in my eyes in terms of the vapors coming up. But that was it. So I'm really happy. I'm definitely going to enjoy keeping this splash around for a nice long time. All right. You know what? What is it tomorrow? Oh, hey. Today, April 15th. Now that we've switched past midnight, it's April 15th. So do your taxes. Here's a little reminder just in case you put it off. I put it off, but not quite to the very end. Take care of mine the other day. So happy tax day. Here's a shave. Hope there was something here for you. You take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.